Isn't that something? I'm at this place, they're loading me. I figured it would be kind of a whatever. Went over to the place and the stuff and whatnot, and it was less crowded as I figured it would be. But when I checked in, I noticed, I looked up and they had a light cover for one of the lights in the office, and it was Bruce Willis from one of his Die Hard movies. He's got like the wife beater on, and you can just tell. It's like an inside joke thing. It's like that's from, I don't know which one in particular, but it's from one of the movies Die Hard. Or perhaps The Last Boy Scout. I don't know, but it's Bruce Willis, like all like, in one of his action scenes, it's just like him, it's like, no, whatever. And then I just noticed now I'm watching some YouTube and just sort of, a short popped up, seemingly kind of out of nowhere. Wasn't looking for stuff related to it. It was the movie The Jackal, where he plays an assassin. Can I say that on YouTube? And it was a scene where it's Jack Black, and he's sighting in his weapon. So I was just like, dum diddy dum diddy dum dum doo doo doo. Hey, and it just occurred to me, what are the odds of shit like that happening? That's just weird. So it happened once before. I don't remember. It was Rambo, and it was like Terry Papi or something. And I don't remember the exact detail. This is a while ago, but I remember I did an audio presentation. I was like, "Hey, Rambo! Hey, what's his name? Changed his thing to Rambo." It's like I walked into somewhere and Rambo, one of them was on TV, and Terry Papi had changed his thumbnail from like whatever it was before to, it's like Rambo only with his face. Because he was, he started out as a grunt. He's an army, and then he was like a ranger, and then a green beret. Apparently there's a difference. Fuck, I don't know. But so, but that was a while ago. But this is kind of, I like this one a little bit better. It's like nothing major, right? It's just like, big deal. But it's like, hey, wait a minute. Fucking Bruce Willis, the Jackal. Like I said, I wasn't watching anything like even remotely related to that would just pop up. So it's like, strange, huh? That's it. That's all I gotta say. I gotta let this run out to 4 minutes. So faggot tube doesn't do that faggot shit. Yeah, man, yeah. Oh. I bought a bunch of pop. I bought in cans. I bought 2 root beers. Some, it's called like Mariconan berry cream, cream soda, blueberry cream soda. Got some cheese curds. Ate a barbecue pork sandwich. Didn't get any ice cream. Oh yeah, I ate it there in their little cafeteria. So I had, lemongrass, soda pop, as well as cherry cream, whatever. It was nice. And it was kind of like, it's rainy and overcast today, so there was less people and whatnot. So, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I saw this dude walking these 2 little babes around. Made me think of you, Katie Boo, because you probably want 2 babes, but you're not even going to get one. Because it's so old and shit. At first, you got to find you a man. Gotta get past that little hurdle. And then there's Mrs. Butthead, who's probably pregnant by now, but her second kid will be a fucking retard. So, because she waited too long. Not as long as you, Katie Boo. But anyway, and I think I mentioned this the other day when I was at that like crab shack place placing the order, she'd walk out there and be like, number 37. She was probably like 5. The other one, the little kid, the son, was like 3 or something. He could walk and shit, and they were just running around. Yeah. He was like, you put the trays here. I was like, thanks, little man. What a helpful little boy. And I crumpled up my plastic pop bottles. I got 2 because they run on like these 12-ounce things, and it was like, fuck. Actually, they were 16. Got some chowder and all that, and and some halibut stuff, and and he was like, hey, the bottles go over there. And then one guy was like, I don't remember what he said, but he's like, don't worry about it, he's bossy. He was like, no. Made me think of you, sweet Katie Boo. Like us, like walking around like a stroller, because that way you don't have to carry the motherfucker. The little baby. Like on your chest, those little straps where they're facing around, So it's like, look at the world, but they can look at the world, and they're like up at like, chest level. And they're more interacting with like the conversation and stuff. They're more like a participant instead of down in the stroller where their mind is free to wander and look at shit like people's shoes in the floor. Versus if you're carrying them in one of them carriers, they're more, it's developing their people skills, because they're looking at the dude kind of, and you're conversing, and they're of course going to look at you, especially if they're a female, and be like, oh, hi, and all that. So it's good for their social skills. So you got to do a little bit of both. But you won't have to worry about any of that because you are too damn fucking old. And like I said, you got to find you a man. Now, I could be that man boy, but I'm not, because I'm just a troll. I don't do that shit. This is completely fucking bullshit. So I hate to be the, forbidden fruit that you cannot access. But, you'll find you a nice neurotic boy, like I said, in that shithole ass stain of a city known as Chicago. It won't be me, to pluck you out of there and do all that, and then do the cabin thing and introduce you to the French. Oh my God. Cindy would hate those critters. They'd be like, oh, and she'd be like, those fucking silly, stupid boys. Even the girl dog is fucking stupid and shit. Because they're spurgs. They're absolute spurgs. Oh, like if there's a noise, they run out the door. I saw them run out the door. The door is only open a little bit. I swear to God, all 3 of them at the same time tried to go out this little, like, foot opening and just like a cartoon. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So they'll jump off the porch and stumble and roll and then get up and keep running. Cindy Bear is probably like not even interested. She'd be like, I'm not going to get up and check that out. I'm going to stay here next to this human who's petting me. I'm going to rest my chin on their butt. I'm quite comfortable. I don't care what else is going on around me. Like that's the kind of dog Cindy is. That's where my mom's 3 Frenches are like, fucking, the wind blew, It was like this bird and Tank was like tugging on the fence. Idiot. So, did I mention where Arlo was up there at the cabin and he was chuffing? That's a cute word. Boof, boof, like a half bark at this deer that had a baby deer, a fawn, and it moved the fawn off into the woods, and my mom went to get Arlo, and then the deer came charging out of the weeds, like stomping her hooves around. And I don't know if she had Arlo in her arms or they were both just running towards the porch, but that's fucking hilarious. But you don't have to worry about those, adventures and mishaps and, the danger, of mama deers and all that, with the little creek that runs through the backyard. You'd really like it. Like I said, it's this bona fide cabin. So we'd just be sitting out there, just you and I, drinking coffee or tea or whatever, Very peaceful. So, but you'll find you a nice shit bag and you can sit out I don't know if that place you has like a little porch, like Fatty McFatfuck. You guys are out there, you know, and you can just chill out there in the city and just take in the smog, you know. And just know that that's the best. Well, it's just by chance. Because I'm it, you know, I am absolutely the best thing that could ever happen to you. It's just I'm choosing no is my answer. So other than me, you know, it's like I don't know what happens after that, you know. Like it's just like this is the second best you could get. I mean, it's probably just going to be completely random. You know, you're just going to have to rough it and fight your way through it, and hopefully find somebody decent. Because I'm off the table. Oh my God, that'd be so perfect for you. Fuck. Like I said, the anxiety would go away. You'd never get sick again. You'd never be tired because you'd sleep like a baby every night. You know, just your life would just absolutely fall into line. Just everything. You'd still be you, but it's like I would rewire you and bring out the best version of you that could possibly be. But like I said, I'm just not interested. So I don't know if, you know, fate takes over and you will get your number 2 boy, or if it'll just be, you know, a random fresh roll of the dice, and you know, you'll live out the rest of your life with no kids, you know, dating, you know, and after 3 to 6 months it'll be the same shit. You know, you won't be dating anymore for whatever reason. Either he's impossible or you're impossible or both. And it'll just be the travesty continues, you know. You'll just live out your life as a dog mom, you know, doing ASMR videos, you know, smiling and, you know, but having depression and taking Prozac and all that, and just kind of, you know, putting up the, you know, the smiles, and it's just, you know, fuck, I almost feel bad. Oh, and ironically, I'll think about you every night as I drift off to sleep. Like I said, you're a real person who wants real things. I don't. So you'll have to play out that whole baby scene with some schmuck at some cafe down at Keggy. Or muster up the money and take a vacation somewhere, you know, and all that. But he won't know how to raise a little human like I do. Because he's just dumb, some schmuck motherfucker. Because you know I'm right. So he'd just be like, no, let's wheel the baby around in a stroller. I'm smart. Why? Look, you can save your back. It's like, no, you gotta do both. There's more to play here. There's more at stake. You're raising a little human. You Papa Bear fuck boy. You gotta think beyond yourself. Idiot. But you'll have to make do. You'll have to kind of extrapolate. What would I do? What would I say? And you'll have to suggest that to your dumb putz. Man, boy. You're settled. You're forcing of the issue. My life partner. Papa Bear, etc. What would the rubber dick doer say? And then you'll have to, you know, either do it yourself or set him up so he's doing shit. No. Or you'll be this little girl, you know, so this little baby, you'll be like, fuck, you know, because you're this little girl, you know, versus Papa Bear, you know, he can lug that, you know, 8-9 pound little infant around, you know, at least part of the day, because like I said, more engaged in what's going on. Hi there. And then you can put him or her in the stroller for the less, not so engaging part. Give your back a break. Let you, do your thing so you feel involved, throughout the day. You're not just a witness to Baby Bear and Papa Bear